This is a video reply, a YouTube reply. It seems to be something YouTube people do, and I've never done one. But I watched a video just now, and it justified it. Excuse me. Actually, I wrote out a very long reply and tried to enter it in the comments, and suddenly YouTube has failed me. It's not letting me post the comments. Now, I don't know if it's because I rambled on. When I start typing, I type a lot. So I got four large paragraphs, and maybe that's too big. But now YouTube just seems messed up. I've tried it on 3 different browsers. So this is for you, specifically Leslie. You don't have a good channel URL that I can see. Maybe you do. Hold on. Lead like a girl at YouTube. In any case, I started watching your daily videos because we met on, not met, but you know, YouTube met or video met on Give It 100. And I specifically wanted to watch day 2 because that was the first video that you made that inspired me to reply. And it was the one where you said, oh my God, what have I done? I've shared my dream on YouTube, and now if I don't do it, people know. And I've had this conversation with people in the past that if you say that you're going to do something to a friend, then it becomes real. It becomes a responsibility. Your friend now knows, they can nag you, but most friends don't nag you. So YouTube's quite different. People will nag you if your video gets seen. And if you're not in Ireland by September, I will give you a hard time. But anyway, I watched your video, and this was the comment that I said. So, excuse me while I take off my reading glasses. Oh, take off my reading, no, the opposite of most old age. I was looking forward to this video because it was your 10-second video version that introduced me to you and inspired me to reply, which I just said. For 10 years, I've been writing my thoughts down in journals and not sharing. I created 5 or 6 false start blogs over the years and shared maybe 1/10 of my writings. Generic ones and opinions on lunch, TV, or basic concepts. Then I started making videos, and some were me talking into the camera for a few minutes and some were up to an hour. Many of them were to be shared but never were. Then I found Give It 100 the day after I learned my long-term IT contract would not be renewed past March. And I knew I had to scramble to come up with a replacement income just to pay my rent. By the way, I have lots of incomes, but that was my rent-paying income. I started Give It 100, and it was my first public video. I didn't share it with anybody I knew till day 5 or 6, and then very limited. I started the YouTube channel because 10 seconds wasn't enough for me. You've already learned I like to ramble. But I was terrified. I have a quote, I don't want to be famous, I just want a few fans. I think a new phobia exists where people are terrified of YouTube. In a flash, you could be the butt of a very real, mean, bully-like series of jokes on Jimmy Kimmel and a flash flood of fame with no income. That's fun to say. I've actually made a blog about how mean stand-up comedy on late-night television is, but just in general, YouTube and the people who make fun of YouTube for a living, the comedians, it's really mean stuff. Like just because, anyway, a tangent. I could be famous for the wrong reasons before I was ready. Even without my own video being seen, I could trip into a fountain while texting and have the world laughing at me rather than with me. It's a real phobia. But then I did it. I put on my orange shirt and did it. And it was fun, addicting, a new friend. I couldn't wait to put on my orange shirt and tell my new friend, the webcam, you, all about my day. I still don't truly share everything. I've got a lot of secrets to bring out about my personality and my low self-esteem, my attention deficit disorder, and my obsessive ways. But that's coming, slowly. It's a new chapter for sure, and I'm okay with going slow. I change at glacial speeds, another one of my favorite quotes of mine. Excuse me. I'm still afraid of fame without income, but I'm glad to see I've found a whole new way to make people smile and make myself smile as well. Thank you for being a part of my story. That's what I wrote. It didn't let me comment on YouTube, so I decided to make this video as a YouTube. I'm sorry that I had to read it, but luckily I cold read reasonably well, except for my still slight lingering cough. So you have inspired me in a number of ways, and I think I will probably start making some videos that aren't part of the Daily 100 project, where I talk about some of my theories and some of my ideas and philosophies. I went through a stint of clinical depression where I was on medication over 20 years ago, and it helped me to not spiral when I get depressed. I have a method of changing my mind, changing my focus, my direction, so that I don't spiral down. It's worked for and against me, because it's hard to focus on negative things now, and a lot of things are negative in life. And I've got to do work, but my brain is programmed to turn off and look at something else when I get into a negative spiral. So it's tough. And I'm living alone for the first time in many, many years, so I don't have that person to nag. That's what YouTube was supposed to be. So thanks for making the journey with me. I'm on day 22, I think. Is it 22? Day 23. I forget. You're on day 16 or 17 or whatever. So we're kind of going along together. I hope I get a job before you get to Ireland. And you can hope that you get to Ireland before I get a job. That's not the right way to do it. We both hope we're successful for each other. So, thanks. This is an Orange Shirt blog. This isn't really an Orange Shirt blog. This is an Orange Shirt personal reply, but goes into the pile. So, thanks for watching me.